Tension, stress, and pain. What a drain. Tension, stress, pain. Oh, let it go, let it go, let it go, let it go, let it go. Don't you know it's time? Yay for taming your tension today. Shake it off. Oh, shake it off. I was listening to Growth Day. I do that every day. I listen to Brendan Burchard's Daily Fire, boosts of motivation. Yes, it does inspire me towards this too. It does. It was so good. And both the Action for Happiness and the Daily Fire just really resonate with what's going on in my life right now, as often it does. So tune in, see how you're feeling in your body right now. Use those 3 keys to reset. Breathe, smile, and joy. Generate that joy. Oh, so the Action for Happiness prompt today is be kind to yourself. Today, it says today, but be kind to yourself every day. Remember that progress takes time. Now, that's incredibly hard when you're besieged by past due and payment failed notices, but it's part of the journey. And releasing that resistance, David Bear calls it resistance training, right? Releasing that resistance and to keep going. Because progress takes time, and often we must kind of refine the step-by-step progress that we're making in that process. Yes, excuse me. So part of that is Growth Day and journaling. It's a key high-performance habit, especially for someone that's high-performance depression for decades, dealing with high performance depression for decades. Once a doctor, he was not a good doctor. He was one of 2 men that showed up under women when I searched for women, and he had some connection to Ohio and a nice smile, so I chose him, which was a mistake. I mean, he was one that I'd come to with physiological, actual physical problems, and he'd do that kind of like poke. It was just a gatekeeper at Kaiser. Not for me. I immediately switched to a DO and haven't gone back from having DOs instead of MDs. But this is a tangent. Anyhow, I was completely frustrated because I had given myself a painful a shoulder impingement, and I couldn't ride my motorcycle, which was my only mode of transportation. I didn't have money and I couldn't go to work. And I was really upset and I was crying. So he wrote major depressive disorder and prescribed me a $20 bottle of ibuprofen that I told him I didn't even want. I'm like, are you even listening? It's like, this is completely circumstantial crying, not a major depressive disorder. But there are definitely major depressions, layers of major depressions in my life from early days of bullying, and then my parents separating, and, just all of that stuff. And then of course the first love is a challenge, and then losing my brother in a motor vehicle accident in 99. And just as I was recovering from that, 9/11 happened. I was in New York City, and I was kind of holding on and had another major heartbreak, and really never kind of pulled myself back together until recently. It's a lifelong process. Progress takes time. And this is the weaving and the integrating of the things that we experience and how they form who we are. This is going to be a little longer episode because I'm on a lot of tangents here. But it's all about taming your tension and having this tension taming toolbox to move through the things that life throws at you, the challenges that are presented to help you grow. And, you know, so then I wasn't doing well in San Francisco, and then my dog died, and you could see the weight gain, and, you know, the drinking got really bad, and the nightlife as a distraction to, you know, a kind of false happiness or a way of getting through. It's like a distraction to drag me through the depths of depression. Ended up homeless, and then coming here and living with an addict who was really cruel. So thankfully I'd already kind of quit drinking. I quit smoking. I walked away. I found another place, and I recovered my health and my well-being from falling apart, from walking with a cane, from being obese at over 200 pounds and literally losing the function of my joints. My knee would give out. I was deteriorating, and I wasn't even 50 yet. So it was a choice, a decision, a commitment to become happier and healthier. And part of that is this reflection, these daily prompts, these daily reminders, not just me telling you, this is stuff I'm going through too, right? This is why I've created these programs to help others, not just women over 40, but all kinds of exhausted entrepreneurs, other folks that are high functioning and deeply battling depression daily. Often there's these highs and lows and these roller coasters that you roll through because it's a process, and progress takes time. You're building these skills of resilience. And Brendan was talking about, you know, the Sunday reflection, and if it's important to reflect on, did your feelings get hurt last week? Did anyone say anything that maybe triggered you in a certain way? Maybe you were annoyed, or you got irritated, or you got frustrated, or you know, you got offended by something, or just their behavior kind of like activated something from your past that you might not be aware of if you don't pause and take a look. Reflection is so key to creating these changes. And most of the time, whatever it is isn't about what they did or said. It's about the response within you. I had a lot of this recently. You know, I had a house guest that was kind of like a tornado in my quiet little realm. So, and there were a lot of behaviors similar to my housemate who had, when she had relapsed and then gone into recovery. And there were things about that other person I lived with who was in the throes of addiction, and there were things that were triggered within me that weren't about him at all. These were things that were bubbling up in me so that I could clear them, right? Learning to communicate with others, learning these ways of navigating in the world. How can I be more efficient in relating with myself and with others? Right? And that's why it's key to have coaches, to have reminder sessions like these, to have journals to write in, to sort through this stuff instead of just trudging along, so that you don't let others derail your dreams, so that you don't let yourself derail your dreams, right? So you don't get dragged down into the pit of despair, so that you keep coming up for air. And sometimes you have to ask others to help pull you through. And that's a hard thing to do. So appreciate you. This is tough stuff, life. It is, right? Take a deep breath, release, and grow, right? Check for resistance within you in the form of worry, anxiety, or, you know, or depression, and distraction, procrastination. Look for the wisdom in procrastination, the wisdom in your frustrations. Why is this irritating me so much? Like the darn computer? Why can't I be patient and wait for the page to load? Right? I'm like, the other day I was like, okay, I used to wait for Pine. I used to wait for dial-up. I can wait for this page to load. It wasn't that long. We've gotten in such a hurry, right? I'm like, I made the fax sounds like thought about these things to distract me while my page loaded because my computer's just too old and there's too much, and it's just like all of my devices are on their last legs, and we're so close to breaking through and this business flourishing. But I'm at that point where everything is past due, everything is on its last legs, but it's holding on. That fraying thread, it's just enough. And if it's not, there's places I can go and use computers, right? And places I can trade info, and there's resources. These are first world problems, right? So it's important to check yourself regularly as you move through, not just for the stress that you're accumulating, but for these deeper things too, right? And I got a little passionate on this one today, didn't I? But that's coming straight from Growth Day Daily Fire. It's not even finished yet. I had to pause it to come and talk to you because, stress is stealing your productivity. I've experienced it, and learning to manage and unlock these high performance skills, higher focus, higher energy, better results with less effort without, doing all the things. And that's what I'm working towards. That's what I'm helping others work towards as well, is achieving that effortless health, that effortless energy. That doesn't mean you don't have to do these things. It means it's just a part of you and how you flow through. Kind of like using these devices was so difficult at first, and now we barely think about it. If you drive, learning to drive was really overwhelming. And then you barely think about it. You might not even be aware of what you're doing half the time. So bringing mindful awareness into your being, in what you're doing, is so key. And if you're still with me today, I've got a wonderful 3-day masterclass workshop coming up later this week. November 1, 2, 3. Yes, November is coming. November is here next week. It's a little scary, isn't it? The year is really fading fast. So join me November 1, 2, 3 for Refresh, Renew, Revitalize You. That's right. And there is a VIP available where you get 3 sessions for the price of 1. Working with me, and a special access area with other resources. You get a wonderful workbook. Just come into the community, and it's free. You can upgrade to those sessions with me, or you can just come in to the community and enjoy the training for free. Day 1, it's at 9 a.m. Pacific. There will be replays available for a limited time in the community, and then put behind the VIP wall. So the replays and the resource is a workbook, a wonderful workbook to help you tracking these 3 phases, the 3 simple steps of the Wise Revitalize system. Yes, we'll be going through that. Refresh is where you break free in the attention phase. That's right. You get set. Renew is where you activate change. you get going. And yes, that is taking action. And step 3, revitalize. You restore that resilience with rest and recovery, reframing, simple practices for resilient adaptation, and effortless longevity, right? Effortless energy, effortless health throughout the years. Designing your dream life, designing and installing the operating system that fits you and the life that you want to live, the way you want to move through. So I do hope you'll join us November 1, 2, 3. I'm just going to pop that right back up again because it's fun. Refresh, renew, revitalize you. Come on in and see us. Meanwhile, make it a great day. Breathe, smile, and enjoy.